Now, one thing that is very clear, even though the lefties don't want to admit it, is that there is a decision that has been made by the greatest federal government of all time, just ask the pollsters or them or the media, that is increasing your power bills. It was a decision made by Anthony Albanese, clapped on by the business elites who at times have taken trips on the prime ministerial jet, high fives and claps for everyone, because they decided to sign not just a hope of dealing with 43% of 1% of the world's emissions by 2030, but also getting us to the best part of more than 80% of our electricity coming from renewables. In fact, this is something that seems to be slightly at odds with the promise of your power bill going down by $275, because the cost of all of this, according to the CSIRO, that far right-wing think tank, is $1 trillion. Now, the money man who, has quickly moved on from talking about that dead cat bounce that he got out of the budget, the non-existent one, well, he says that the energy transition that you will have to pay for will be one of the lasting legacies and something that he will forever be proud of if they can do it.
If we could get one thing right in the time that I'm the Treasurer, it'd be that energy transformation. I think so much of what we want to achieve together hinges on that in one way or another.
So what's the plan for it? Well, yes, an awful lot of windmills, maybe a little bit more hydro eventually, but solar is one of the biggest ways this is going to happen. And the Minister for Blackouts loves solar power.
Every study shows wind and solar by far the cheapest, followed by gas, followed by coal, followed by nuclear.
But how many solar panels will we need between now and 2030? Well, Jennifer Hewitt wrote in the Financial Review what Chris Bowen has said multiple times. It's estimated Australia must install, how's this, 22,000 500-watt solar panels every day for 8 years, along with 47 megawatt wind turbines every month, backed up by at least 10,000 extra kilometres of new transmission lines. Now, of course, solar panels may well be the magic technology that can get us there. The only problem is the people who make them are in China. According to the International Energy Agency that was profiled today in a report in the ABC, as you can see, that the world's polysilicon manufacturing mostly comes out of China. That's the blue that you can see on the far right of the screen. The rest of the world basically left in the dust. But this isn't just being made by China. Believe it or not, the ABC actually told the truth today that this stuff isn't just being made in China, it's being made with slave labour. Now, this story's been around for a while, but to actually see this start to prick into the consciousness of the lovies is fascinating to see. We've been talking about it for a while. Who are the people who are the slave labour? Well, the Uyghur population. These are the people who have been amassed by their thousands, have been imprisoned in part of China, and their job is to work in solar panel factories. Solar panel factories that Australia will need 22,000 of every single day for the next 8 years for, among others, Jim Chalmers to say, how good are we? Literally, the entire ability of the government to achieve what they say they need to achieve to get 43% of 1% of the world's carbon dioxide to be taken out of the air literally comes because of slave labour. One of the Uyghurs here in Australia feels very dark about solar panels and thinks you should too. She says, it's a bitter feeling when you see them. I absolutely see the separation, the tears, the human rights abuses when I look at solar panels. The Uyghurs that live in Australia, they know that their families are in those labour camps working for the solar panel industry. So my simple message to those who constantly demand that their coffee is fairly traded, that their sneakers and clothes are not made in sweatshops, or those who believe in ethical investing as the only way forward, to think about the slave labour required to build 22,000 solar panels every single day for the next 8 years. Now, amazingly, the government, in its most recent budget, decided to fund a project against global slavery. So on the one hand, they are fighting against the deal that they have signed that demands more global slavery in order to achieve what they want to do for the planet.